The Greyhound, from racing to your home. Adopting a Greyhound requires a serious commitment. We'll be showing you both the joys and some of the pitfalls of adoption, so you can decide if you and a retired racing Greyhound are right for each other. Let's look at the history of one of God's noblest beasts, the Greyhound, and then we'll look into some of the methods of his training in modern times. This may give the potential adopter some insight into his character. Greyhounds have evolved very little over the last 8,000 years. They were originally bred to hunt on the open plains of the Middle East. Egyptians treated greyhounds with an almost godlike reverence. In fact, for centuries, only nobility were allowed to own greyhounds. The sport of coursing was already popular in Rome by the 1st century AD. Since antiquity, greyhounds have loved to chase, and very little's changed in modern times. As a newborn puppy, the noble greyhound looks like most other breeds at birth. At about 3 months of age, the puppy's short nose and chubby body begin to change into the regal look of the world's fastest canine. The Greyhound puppy develops on the farm and grows up with his siblings until they go to the racetrack. From the time they're born through the time they go to the track, the Greyhound has plenty of playmates. When the Greyhound reaches the racing kennel, there's a more business-like manner expected. They now live in individual crates. However, they're let out several times a day to eliminate, exercise, and mingle with each other. But twice a week, they're able to do what they really love to do, and that's run. Greyhounds are absolutely not aggressive towards people. As racers, they're handled far more than most dogs, and by a variety of people. If they do growl or snap, it's most often out of fear. Because of their light coat and thin skins, Greyhounds always wear muzzles when playing or exercising with other dogs. What would be a simple scratch for another breed of dog might require several stitches for a Greyhound. Keep that in mind when he's running in your own yard. A Greyhound's career on the track usually lasts from about 18 months, barring injury, to 5 to 6 years old. They make the most wonderful pets imaginable after the career is over. Retiring Greyhounds are generally between 2 and 6 years of age, and with their long life expectancy of 12 to 14 years, they still have many years of love left to share. Once the decision is made to retire the racing Greyhound, the trainer takes the Greyhound to the adoption kennel. The goal of the adoption staff is to get the newly retired Greyhound ready for a wonderful, loving, and lifelong home. Well, maybe yours. The first challenge is to change his diet. It's difficult for the Greyhound to give up his delicious racing diet for dry kibble. Sometimes it takes him a while, but he must switch over to dry food. Next comes the visit to the veterinarian. The exam will include vaccinations, heartworm tests, spay or neuter, and dental cleaning. Because of their lean muscle mass, Greyhounds are sensitive to anesthetic. Even a minimum amount can be fatal on the operating table. Be sure your vet is familiar with Greyhounds, or choose another vet, one that is. Heartworm prevention is required year-round. A monthly pill is available from your vet. Before you adopt, please be sure your budget can provide regular veterinary care, including annual dental cleaning, vaccinations, and heartworm preventative. If you've been approved for adoption, here's what you'll need to do. First, have a family meeting at home to decide what manners are important for your Greyhound. Remember, training must be consistent. Also early on, you may want to adjust your work and play schedule so you can spend a couple of days at home with your new family member. This may help him to adjust to your life. In addition, as soon as you get your retired Greyhound home, make sure you get him an ID tag with your personal information and his name on it. That way, if he does get lost or run away, they'll know right where to call. When you're ready to pick up your Greyhound, you'll need to bring another adult along to help with the trip home. Have your helper ride in the back with your Greyhound. If you have other pets at home, an introduction process will be necessary to acclimate your new retired Greyhound with the pets that are already at home. Although Greyhounds are usually not aggressive towards other dogs, your other pets may be a little territorial, and we don't want any trouble to start, so you may want to guard against this. Your adoption group will provide a muzzle for initial introductions to dogs, small children, and other pets. It's a good idea to get a muzzle for your existing dogs at home, too. Dogs are pack animals. After a few minutes of sniffing each other and getting to know one another, they should get along from this point on. While introducing them to your home, keep the Greyhound on a leash as you walk him around the house. Be patient. This is all new to them. Greyhounds may be frightened of slippery floors, the vacuum cleaner, or even ceiling fans. As you walk, you can offer him words of encouragement or discouragement. But don't yell. You want him to feel safe and welcome in his new home. If you have stairs, save that obstacle for when you have lots of time. The Greyhound has never seen a set of stairs before, so this can be a real deterrent. Be very careful when teaching him to traverse the stairs. Greyhounds are very curious, so allowing him to explore the whole household may take a while. Be sure to mark large expanses of glass with tape and then show it to him. We don't want the Greyhound to run through the glass. If you have a cat, keep it in a closed room until you're ready to introduce the Greyhound and the cat. When you're ready, have a short leash and muzzle on your Greyhound and go slowly. Safety first. They've got plenty of time to get to know one another.
Actually, she adjusted within 15 minutes of bringing her in the house. We brought her home with the muzzle on, as the adoption center instructed, and we had Chloe in our hands. Ruby stuck her nose in the cat's butt, and they were best friends ever since. It took them all of about 15 minutes.
If you're having problems safely introducing your cat and retired Greyhound, talk to your adoption group for tips. As mentioned before, Greyhounds have thin skin and a light coat. They also have little or no body fat for insulation. Therefore, they are not suited for the outdoor living. They are adopted strictly as indoor pets. If you don't want a dog in your house, a Greyhound is not for you. When your Greyhound goes outside for exercise and elimination, he must be on a leash or in a completely enclosed area. The easiest answer is your own fenced yard. Be sure your fence is secure by putting locks on gates and checking for any weaknesses. Your Greyhound's first few outings in the yard should be on a leash and under adult supervision, but once he gets the lay of the land, he's ready to go. If you don't have a fenced yard, don't despair. While romping in a fenced area is fun, Greyhounds can be kept happy and healthy with just a 10-minute exercise walk daily. Of course, you always have to be willing to take him outside for elimination several times a day, and that's rain or shine. Greyhounds can slip a regular collar, so a martingale collar, when adjusted properly, is perfect. If you don't have one, ask your adoption group if they can supply you one or know where to get one. You might also want to purchase a harness, especially if you have children. Always use a strong 4 to 6 foot leash and hold on tight. Retractable leads are not the best choice for Greyhounds. If he takes off after a moving object or hears a noise that maybe startles him, you'll need control. Greyhounds can go from a dead stop to 40 miles per hour in just a few strides. He may be in the next county before you have a chance to react. Greyhounds are used to being let out on a schedule. If you choose a routine and stick with it, everything will be easier for him. Ask your adoption group what your Greyhound is used to and begin as close to that schedule as possible. Always let your Greyhound out first thing in the morning, 2 or 3 breaks during the day, and out before bedtime.
I would say within a week she made everything hers. She learned what windows were, mirrors were. She learned exactly where her food was right then. She actually went to the door and told us when she had to go out and use the restroom. She learned the schedule of about 10:30 p.m. It was bedtime. She would go to her kennel and go to sleep.
At first, you'll need to provide a crate for your Greyhound. A plastic travel-style crate is safe and secure. A washable comfort makes an excellent pad. Add a couple of toys and a chew bone, and he'll be set. Greyhounds have been crate trained, but not housebroken. Most have never been in a house, but they're very smart and learn fast. His crate also gives him someplace to go for security if something upsets him, or if he just needs to take a little rest. Greyhounds make great pets. They're quiet animals, and they shed very little. Their grooming needs are minimal. A light brushing once a day with a soft bristle brush is all they need. A Greyhound's skin does not create oil, so there's very little doggy odor. They rarely need a bath. But when you do give them a bath, make sure you use a good quality pet shampoo. Never use human shampoo, as it will irritate their skin. If you want to try it, a veterinarian can show you how to trim his nails. But many pet stores will trim nails for a nominal fee. Your Greyhound will consider a trip to the pet store a party. Another thing, cleaning his ears is easy with a disposable baby wipe. If you have a dog and a child, you have a serious responsibility to keep them both safe. A retired racer can be the ideal companion for the right child. Because of their gentle nature and preference for a calm environment, they do best in a home with quiet, well-mannered children who are school age or older. Most Greyhounds have no experience with small children or infants. Expecting a retired racer to interact with your child in the same way as a puppy who was raised with children is very unfair, and Greyhounds don't have the padding to be safe in the rough and tumble world of boisterous children. Before you adopt a retired racer, take a realistic look at your ability to manage your children and a dog, and decide if you're being fair to yourself, your kids, and the dog. Are you willing to deal with the problems that may come with the aging Greyhound? With proper care, your Greyhound will give you many years of devotion. Think about your lifestyle now. Project it 10 years from now. What happens if you get married, get divorced, have a baby, or relocate? An aging Greyhound may have some of the same problems that an aging human may have. Arthritis, bladder, bowel control, or even the problems with stairs. Will you be ready for the emotional strains that come with his increased dependence on you? Too many Greyhounds are abandoned due to the problems of aging, and they deserve better. He will give you unconditional love till the day he dies. Can you do the same for him? If the answer is yes, please adopt. You're our kind of people.
They've been everything and a whole lot more. I never thought they would be as fun. They've just really changed my life, added to my life. The whole Greyhound adoption situation has just been, the people are wonderful. I've met people all over the country, over the internet talking, and it's just everybody I talk to who has a Greyhound is just cut above. I mean, they just all are the same kind of people, and they all love their Greyhounds, and I can't imagine not having them.
Contact your local track or adoption agency as soon as possible to begin the process. There's a Greyhound longing for your love. To begin the process, the first thing you'll need to do is complete an application. If you rent, written permission from your landlord must be received in the adoption office before the process can go any farther. After reviewing your application, the adoption center will schedule an interview. A home visit may also be required. During the interview, please tell the adoption staff your specific needs and wishes so they can help guide you. When it's time to select your Greyhound, be sure all family members are present. Finally, each dog is an individual. Let the temperament and personality guide you. You're going to love owning the fastest dog on earth.